to Atari Series 7. Today I'm reviewing this, which is the Batman Imaginext 85th Anniversary Pack. So this is really cool. We have George Clooney, Christian Bale, Robert Pattinson. We also had Michael Keaton, but I was yapping in the middle of that. And there we have them again. And as you can see, they all look great. We have some really cool artwork from the posters of the movies, which look great. We have the bat signal there. And then we have the 85th Anniversary logo there on the side, which I absolutely love. I think the anniversary logos always look good for Batman. Then on the back, we have DC, or the side there. And then on the back, we have basically 85th Anniversary multi-pack, and tells you which each Batman's from with each respective bat symbol. And I think it looks really, really cool. I absolutely love that. We have Mattel down here, a bunch of legal information, Imaginext, and a UPC, but I don't really think that'll help because I don't think this comes in stores. And then there we have them in box again, and it's really cool how it opens up. It just pops up, and you can take them out, so you can either display them in it, or you can remove it entirely and have this really cool artwork. I love these posters so much. They look so good. Obviously you have the Batman Begins and the Batman movie poster there. But yeah, moving on to the characters. Looks so amazing out of packaging. We have 89 there, and then we have George Clooney, Christian Bale, Robert Pattinson. They all agree. And let's start this review with Batman. But yeah, so here we have Batman as played by Michael Keaton, and he looks amazing. So for those of you who don't know, the 89 Batman movie is honestly probably one of my favorite Batman films. I love Michael Keaton's portrayal. It's what I watched the most growing up, and this Imaginext figure has replicated so perfectly. I love the bat emblem there. It's based on the one from Batman, not Batman Returns, which is great. The cowl looks amazing as well. Moving down, he's pretty basic the rest of the way, but honestly, I don't mind. This also uses the new Batman mold, and it works so perfectly for Michael Keaton. And the back there looks great, and the head and cowl, all that, same thing basically, but it's an entirely new sculpt. All of these have new sculpts for the heads. Now, here's a comparison with the previous Mattel 3 3/4 inch Batman they did. I think that's the only one Mattel ever did a Keaton, and then here's one with McFarlane, as well as the Spin Master. I am very much a sucker for Michael Keaton stuff. Now, here we have the Spin Master Flash movie Batmobile, which is based on the 89 Batmobile, and is the same one, and it works great with Imaginext scale figures. Like, it scales perfectly with it, and you can even put them inside of it, and while it's kind of hard to see, you can actually see Batman in the Batmobile, so I think that's great. I highly recommend picking that up if you guys don't have it, because it goes perfect with this Batman. Now, here's a comparison with the other versions of Batman from this mold. We have the one from the Blind Bag, as well as the one from the Man Bat set, and the Hall of Justice. I have the other one too, which is the black and gray one, but I don't know where it is at the moment, and I love this mold. I think it's one of the best they've ever done for Batman, and it works perfectly for Keaton. And here's a comparison with one that came out last year, which is kind of inspired by the Flash movie a little bit. It's got the Batman 89 symbol. It kind of released around that time. It's a pretty cool one, so I like having it there. And then here's a comparison with the Flash, as well as Supergirl, who was kind of inspired by the design in the Flash movie. And again, just kind of for fun, having them all together there. But I think this figure is amazing. I never would have thought Imaginext would have made this, and just having this as a kid would have blown my mind. So I absolutely love this thing, and it is incredible. Now, moving on to George Clooney, I'm really surprised because Clooney is actually one of the most detailed in this set. And obviously, Clooney isn't exactly, incredibly loved in the Batman community, but, I think the action figure here is replicated perfectly. I love the metallic paint on him, and also, sorry about my lighting, it's all over the place. I love the grills that they put the grills in on his bat ears. I think that's really cool. And the silver metallic paint works great. His eyes look good. And he even has again, all of these have the new heads, and he even has kind of the little lapels where his cape should be, so I think that's pretty cool. And then he's got the silver on the bat emblem, and then even has on the knees. It surprised me they put the silver bats on the knees. I think that's actually pretty cool, but I'm just really surprised because they went all out on detailing this guy. But I think it looks great too. They could have been kind of lazy too and just done his suit from the first of the movie, but I'm glad that they did the more shinier looking suit at the end. I think that's pretty cool. And I don't feel like they do this suit a lot for Clooney when he does get action figures, which is kind of rare. So I like seeing this, I think it looks good. And again, I like those grills. I like they're on there. Now here is a comparison with the previous. And we have the Justice one from the 80th anniversary, as well as the remolded color changers one on the other side. And they've used this sculpt quite a lot. It was the Apocalypse armor, it was the Ninja armor, but it's a great sculpt, and I think it works great for the suit it's trying to be. I think all of the reuses they picked on the actual bodies are perfect, and I think this one, is no exception. Now here we have the Christian Bale one, and I gotta say, this one's a little disappointing in some areas. The poster is from Batman Begins, and the action figure itself is based on Batman Batman Begins. But the overall design is a little different from Batman Begins. The helmet is very much the Dark Knight, and it looks incredible. I mean, look how it's molded. Look at the eyes. It looks entirely accurate to the movie. It just looks great. It's even got on the back, on his neck there, I don't know if you can see this, but it's even got the little like grills and lines and almost like a spine thing going up there, just like in the movie, so it's very cool. And then moving down, he has the logo from The Dark Knight, but this technically should be the logo from Batman Begins, and I kind of feel like Imaginext just kind of went with the Batman Begins suit because, you know, it's a little bit on detailed compared to the Dark Knight one, and it will be a little bit easier to make, but at the same time put the Dark Knight movie logo on there because it's a more iconic logo. And I don't know if I can really complain about that, because the fact we even have Christian Bale in Imaginext is amazing, and I'm very excited about it, but it is a little bit inaccurate to what it's supposed to be. But either way, again, like, I am just so pumped that they actually made this, because the fact that they actually made the movie versions is just kind of insane, because I never really pictured Imaginext doing this. So again, I'm not going to sit here and gripe about a few inaccuracies when we have this. And the sculpt here on the head is incredible, and it's a great looking figure overall, and I absolutely love it. Can't get over how well that sculpted helmet looks there. It looks so good. Now, with the previous sculpts that this used, this mold is pretty common. I can't remember when this one first debuted. I think it came out around 2021, maybe a little bit before that, probably 2019, but it's been used several times, and it's a good sculpt. You know, I think it's one of the best out there for Batman, so I honestly don't mind them using it. Again, I think they picked perfect sculpts for these. And moving on to the Batman, I gotta say, this is by far, to me, the most detailed in the entire set. This is the best. It just looks great. So moving on to the head here, and I'm sorry about my lighting and my camera angling, this is all gonna look horrible, but it actually has the stitching detailing that the actual mask has in the movie. And I don't know if this is gonna come up very well on camera, but it's on his nose, it's on the top of the helmet, it's on the bat ears, it's on the back. It just looks incredible. I love this, like on the back of the bat ears here, even on the collar of his cape, it's got that stitching detailing, and I really did not think they would do that. You know, like to actually go in and put that much of a little detail and iconic detail on a character this small is so cool. And it's got the bat emblem, and the colors look good too. It's the black and gray, and because this uses the surround sound mold, you got all this little bit of extra armor, which kind of looks how it looks like in the movie. And I definitely think this sculpt works perfectly for this version of Batman, and that stitching detailing is just insane that they actually put that on there. And honestly, even though I think Keaton's going to be my favorite from this set, this, in my opinion, is definitely the most detailed and really makes the set. You know, this really makes it feel like a collector's item and not just something they threw out here. Now, here's a comparison with the surround sound Batman. This is the one basically that this sculpt is lifted from. It's been used a few times, but not many, not nearly as much as the others. But overall, it works perfectly for this version of Batman. Now, I remember too, there were some people upset that Ben Affleck wasn't included in this set when it came out, but Imaginext has actually made the Ben Affleck Batman on several occasions. They did this for the Batman vs. Superman wave, and I don't really mind that he wasn't included, considering that none of the other Batman were ever made, so I much more prefer to have them than another Ben Affleck taking up the spot there. And yeah, it's great. He looks great together. He's also not super expensive. If you want to add one to your collection, I'm sure you can find one on eBay, super cheap on there, maybe even at Goodwill too. But I think this set is great. I absolutely love it. My favorite has to be Keaton. Again, big Keaton fan, but I absolutely love the details on the Robert Pattinson mask. It just looks incredible, and Clooney's suit's very well detailed. I would have to say the weakest in the set is probably the Christian Bale, not because it's necessarily bad, just again, it's a little inaccurate, but you know, if that's in my honest opinion, if that's like the weakest part of the set, that's amazing, because this set is strong, it's great, I love it, and thank you for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe.